So, guys, we are going right into the spotlight. That's you spotlight. Today, we feature Benton Morris, who is a part of the London cast of the hit musical The Lion King. It was an audition number three for the show, which debuted in 1997. That proved the clincher for the St. Catherine-born Morris. He had first audition in 2010, never too lucky. Then 2 years later in 2012, on both occasions, he made it to the final round, ending up in the top four male dancers each time. The Lion King team returned to Jamaica in 2013, and guess what? He was successful. Well, we have on the line Mr. Benton Morris, and I gather he is now in Switzerland. Well, a little find something there, go and see him. Welcome, sir.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
All right. So, how did you begin your career in dancing?
My career in dancing started with Asher Company Performing Arts, and then I was very active in church. So I was dancing, singing, acting in church, and then I did a solo performance at church one night in a concert, and a group of people said to me, "You know that you're very talented, and we think you should go to England Manley." So I did college first. After high school, I went to college, and then after college, I was still fishing around trying to figure out what to do. So I said, okay, let me go to England Manley to see what it's like there. So I went there one day, and I saw 4 dance classes: a ballet class, a jazz class, a West African class, and an improv class. And then I'm like, well, I think I can probably do this. So then I started Edna Manley at 19. That's when I started training in dancing. And then after Edna Manley, I was recruited with a national company as NDTC. So I danced with them for a couple of years, and then I moved to Toronto in 2009. So I've been dancing in Toronto since 2009. And then I went to Jamaica in 2013 on vacation when the Lion King was there again. And the day of my flight was the day of the audition, and I decided to change my flight to the following day with the encouragement of Michael Holgate and Marlon Sims. And so I did that, did the audition again, and made it to the end again, but this time it was 6 boys instead of 4. And then they were like, okay, that's it. You guys made it to the end, and if we want somebody, we call you. So I'm like, okay, say more. So I went to Toronto. Mm-hmm.
Wait, hold on. Before we go to the Toronto story, so I just read and I just said that you have tried for Lion King twice and was not successful. You know, as a Jamaican, for example, you go Rising Stars, it's one of those shows, and you never get through 2 times. If I try it down, you say, now go back. What gave you the idea or gave you the drive to go back that 3rd time?
Because I was in Suriname the summer of 2013 in Michael Holgate. So we were doing car festa there, and that's when he said to me, Benton, you know that Lion King is coming again? I'm like, oh, okay, good for them, because I've done it 2 times before, and they didn't give me, so they won't choose me the 3rd time. Right. So like, no, man, you can't go back to Canada and not do it. So I said, well, if they say they have more flights, so I don't know. He's like, okay, we're going to get you to change your flight and get you to do it. So I did that, changed my flight, and I did it for the fun. The first 2 times I did the audition, I really wanted to get the show, to do the show, to travel, to be on Broadway and do a really huge, successful show. So the 3rd time, I'm like, you know what? Ben, you've done this 2 times before. Let's make it to the end, because we're going to say no story anyway. So let's make it to the end, and you'll be fine. So that was my goal the day of the audition. Just make it to the end, and I'll be fine. So I did that, had fun with it, made it to the end, and I'm like, okay, say no. They told us the same thing. They're going to call you if we need you. So I'm like, okay. I'm used to hearing that anyway. So I did it for the fun of it. And then next day, boarded my flight back to Toronto. And I was dancing back in Toronto again.
So what was your reaction when you heard you were successful? Because, I mean, after being in that drag for years, were you finally happy when you got through?
Well, at first I got an email from the executive director of the company saying that, Benton, you know, that we have a spot for you in the London company, and we're hoping that you're willing to take it. I'm like, what? And it was April Fool's Day. It was the 1st of April. So I'm like, no, man, who is playing this prank on me? So I read the email like 10 or 15 times. I read the email. At the bottom of the email, it had the director's name and everything. So I said, no, man, this is a legit email. It's not a prank. So, and then after I read the email like the 15th time, I got a call from New York saying that, is this Benton? Yes, it's Benton. We have a contract for you, and we have a position for you in London. I would like you. Are you willing to take it? I'm like, of course. So they said, okay, we're going to send all the details to you in a couple of days. So after that, I hung up the phone. I called Jamaica. I told my parents. I told my grandmother. I told Michael and Marlon, of course, because they were the main reasons why I did it anyway. So I told them, I was in a state of shock for maybe the entire morning. I was supposed to go to work in Toronto. I didn't even go to work because I was in shock. I'm like, really? Did they just say that there's a spot for you in the Lion King? So I couldn't believe. And I didn't tell anybody for a couple of weeks. Even when I got to London, I still didn't tell anybody yet. Because I wanted to make sure that I was in the show, started doing the show, before I made the grand announcement.
Right, I understood. So you mentioned that you've been a part of the National Dancing Theatre Company as well as Ashe, but what people don't know is that you actually were a competitor or a contestant in Dancing Dynamite. Can you tell me through that? What was that?
I was a competitor in the second season of Dancing Dynamite. Myself and Kimiko Miller, and together we were called Kimbe. Two letters of my name, three from her name. So we were Kimbe, and we came second that year in 2006. And that was really an amazing experience because that opened a lot of doors for us. We did, after competing in that show, thanks to Jenny, we did a lot of music videos and commercials, and we got a lot of exposure because of Dancing Dynamite. So my dancing kind of got big after Dancing Dynamite because I was known all over Jamaica, I would say. I would be on the street and people would be like, Benton, Kimbe. And I'm like, I don't know that person. And they would be like, oh, you remember you just did a dance competition on TV. So people know you know. So it was a celebrity for a little while.
Yeah. You have to learn to smile and wave. You can't say you don't know the person. The fact that the people know you, so you have to act as if you know them.
Yeah, man. So it was a great experience doing Dancing Dynamite. And then after Dancing Dynamite, I was back in Enema because it was my second year in college. So we got a scholarship to continue our studies there. And then after that, then I was invited to the national company. So I would say,
we continue, make a point.
Yeah, I would say my experience being a late bloomer, a late dancer starting at 19, so far it has been really great for me. And I've been to a lot of places and I've done a lot of things and I've accomplished a lot for a person who started dancing at 19, which most professional dancers will start at 6, 7, 8. So I started really late and I've accomplished a lot.
Right. So on some serious business, do you think there is a career for professional dancers in Jamaica?
Right now, I don't think so, because it's very hard for dancers in Jamaica. Majority, if not all of the dancers who want to be professional dancers, they'd have to leave Jamaica to dance with a company in the States or Canada or venture off to Europe because there's no full-time company in Jamaica. All the companies in Jamaica, they're like after work, extracurricular things that do on the side because it doesn't pay.
Right.
So the government would fund dancing in Jamaica because I think Jamaica has a lot of amazing dancers. Because I came to Lion King and the dancers I see in Lion King, they're great, of course, but I think out of dancers in Jamaica, they could have done the show as well because they're also amazing. So they just need that exposure, that door to get out and do greater things.
Right. Now, being a student at the University of the West Indies, I've heard of people believing that there isn't enough support for the art, whether it is by the government or the Minister of Youth and Culture. And, they're basically killing themselves to make great shows at the Felix Sherlock. We're talking about Quilt, talking about other things. Do you think the government could have done more to make sure that these performing arts people get to somewhere or segue into a successful career?
I think the government can do more, of course, and I think they're contributing to different things. And I think if they contributed to the performing arts more, or even if they're contributing at all, it would be a greater good for the youth because there are a lot of talented young people in Jamaica from all walks of life, whether it's been dancers, singers, or actors. They're like extremely talented people there, and they just need that help and support and that push from the government to make it to where they want to be.
Totally agree. And in 15 seconds, for those who are considering being in the performing arts and want to make it big but have just not gotten that big buzz yet, what would you have to say to them?
I would say to them, listen, whatever you want in life, follow your dreams and your goals. Go for it. Don't listen to what negativity that people have to tell you. Know what you want, work towards it, and trust me, it will come true. Because I wanted, when I started Edna Manley, my goal was to either dance with Alvin Ailey or go on Broadway. And see, a couple years later, I'm doing exactly that. So know what you want, work towards it, and it will come true. First, you have to believe in yourself also. So,
all right, great success story. Thanks for being with us tonight, Benton, and all the best in your future endeavors.
Thank you very much.
All right, so that was Sir Benton Morris. He is a part of the Lion King team, you know, the international from the news in Switzerland. He said he started dancing at 19. So guess what? Wherever you are, your dreams are valid. You get that from a little Lupita speech.